Hi, we're music group 25, and we are doing Irish step dancing. So the history of Irish step dancing, Irish dancing was heavily influenced by traditional Celtic dance forms and other religiously prevalent groups in Ireland during this time. The exact date of when Irish dancing began isn't really clear, but historians are able to link it to traditional Celtic dancing because of the strict, disciplined, and rigid structure and precision of the dances. And as well as the arrival of the Celts, the spread of mainstream Christianity kind of sparked the beginning of this cultural dance movement at the start of the 5th century. A fun fact about Irish dancing, individuals known as dancing masters would travel from town to town and teach the peasants these ritual dances as a sort of like social competitive rivalry between the regions. And that's a big part of intense Irish competitive dance culture that we see today. And of course, over time, as Ireland was invaded and people migrated to and from Ireland, the dance was modified and changed. But the more disciplined version that we see today began around the start of the 18th century. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, so this is a picture of Irish dancing. And as you can see, it's a very social event. The whole town is outside. They're all very engaged, and it was an expression of work, war, courtship, and other social reactions.
All right, so the country of origin, as the name implies, it was the country that which the step dance originated was Ireland itself. There's some theories that say that maybe the French or the English, since Ireland was a part of the UK at some point, is believed that maybe some of the English and the French dance may have had some kind of form of, like, as far as structure goes, it's believed that maybe that could have influenced the way that they dance as far as like sets of dances. But that's not very popular because it's very unlikely, because since there is no record, we can't really say. It's all just a guess. And the Irish step dance is just very unique, because if you go across the world, you think of the waltz, you think of like breakdancing. Nothing is quite like the Irish step dance, as far as they keep their arms straight and they mainly just move their legs. So it originated in Ireland, really hasn't been influenced by any other country before.
Okay, so the use of the dance in contemporary film. Irish step dance has been prevalent in a variety of contemporary platforms, and one of the most recent films that's brought attention to the dance is the documentary Jig by Sue Bourne. This documentary highlights how step dance is a form of dance that brings people together all over the world. It documents a really big worldwide Irish dance competition that a lot of people look forward to. And another aspect of this film is the fact that it emphasizes breaking the stereotype that only Irish people can perform the dance. And Irish step dance in films is typically accompanied with the traditional dances, dresses, costumes, makeup, and wigs, and of course, music.
All right, so the dance movement of Irish step dance. Fun fact, I actually had cousins who did Irish step dance for I think 3 to 4 years, so I'm pretty familiar with all the dancing and stuff. As Matthew said earlier, it's very like stiff and like a rapid movement. So your hands are kept to your side, and then everyone stands tall. There's a lot of stiff, rapid, precise movements, just like the picture shown. And there's a lot of rhythm and grace to it. So how they do it is they kind of like kick their legs back and everything. And they wear these like tap shoes or something like that to make noise and everything. And they accent the downbeats. So whenever you're stepping, you listen to the music. And for example, you downbeat on 1 to 3. So I'm going to emphasize 1 to 3 more. So the movements are pretty simple, but also whenever they're performed at speed, it's crazy hard and they can go really fast. So they can be very challenging, and it's very impressive and impressing to watch. And then so once you get like the simple movements down of Irish step dance, you can add more stuff in like shuffling, jumping, circling rounds, etc. Depending on the dance, you kind of just make it your own. So that's something really interesting about it. And also, as I think someone else previously said, that it was very like casual, but also now it can be, there's a lot of like competitions in there as well. So I don't know, just a fun fact about that. And you can go on to the next slide.
Irish step dancing costume. In early days, women would wear either an ankle-length skirt with a blouse or ankle-length dress. Male dancers would wear a coat, shirt, vest, and breeks, or they wore a shirt with a kilt in the Irish clan plaid. Modern female dancers wear short dresses that cover their arms completely and consist of bright colors. Modern male dancers wear trousers and a shirt with a colorful sash tied at the waist. Depending on the type of dance they perform will determine the shoes worn by men. If they perform a flat down step dance, men will wear shoes that have metal cleats on the toes and heels, and if they perform a ballet up dance, the shoes will have soft soles. The female wear different shoe styles as well depending on the dance style they are performing. For a ballet up dance, the females wear black leather gillies, which have soft soles for easy movement. The soft leather allows the dancers to move comfortably on the balls of their feet or their toes. For flat down step dances, the shoes worn are an Oxford style with a thick heel that have a metal cleat attached to the heel and sole. The shoes consist of black leather, laces, and a strap to properly secure the foot.
Alrighty, so when Irish step dancing first started, it was very, how do I say, when it first started, there weren't like a lot of instruments, and it wasn't as formal as it is now. So it first started with just like bagpipes and maybe harps for like the special gatherings. So it wasn't too big on instruments, but over the years when it has like evolved, it's become more diverse, and as it's become more formal, it's included more instruments that are like more orchestrated, like the flute and the fiddle and the bodhran and many more. And next slide.
All right, so different forms of the dance. There's three main forms of the Irish step dance. Both of them have group and solo parts. There's set dancing, Cayley routines, and step routines. So set dancing is performed as a group of 4 couples usually, and it's a French dance originally, and dancers will switch partners and repeat lots of routines throughout the dance, and all according to a rhythm. Cayley routines, that's the most popular form of the dance. It's a group dance. There's a picture of it on the right side of the screen here. It's usually somewhere from 2 to 16 people, and they'll switch places on beat with the music and repeat it as the dance goes on. For step routines, this is an older style of dancing. The sounds that you typically hear with Irish step dancing are intentionally made to add to the music and go along with the rhythm. Every step, each individual step is done twice. It adds to the complexity of the dance and adds to the rhythm. In all 3 forms, dancers typically have a rigid upper body combined with quick foot movement.
So as mentioned before, the Irish step dance is most notable for having very rigid posture and rapid foot movements. Both these aspects of the dance reflect the political ideals that were around in Ireland at the time of the dance's creation. So the rigid posture and the stiffness of the upper body represents the will of the Catholic Church for women and young girls to preserve their modesty while they were dancing. And it represents the strict discipline that the people of Ireland were expected to uphold while they were under English rule. However, it also symbolizes the strength and courage that they felt, and represents the pride of the Irish people to be a part of that nation. So the rapid foot movements of the dance of themselves symbolize the liveliness that the people felt, and was a small way of rejecting British control and expressing themselves as they saw fit. The movements represented a small form of rebellion against the English, as well as the freedom that the Irish felt to express themselves how they please. Okay, next slide. All right, so this is our works cited page. And this is the slide of, well, it tells us it says what we all did, which slides we were responsible for. So thank you for watching our presentation.